Oh, yeah, that. That's what the Jitsa Shamangi means if it teaching it to J. Ta Chepala, Mazoti Sajeta, which is not teaching Yan to Shishapato. Gaspa teaching Shepa, Nisne. That teaching Yan to Shishipi Kanegazo. Oh, she did your what? What is it?
So as to the presentation of this teaching on ornament for clear realizations, which will be done in really the two main headings. So the first is the background or the introductions. So this is where we have been at the moment, and then the next main one is then the actual the actual teaching on the text.
Ta teaching it and Rovishipi Caneta, Dingel Temani Karshia or Sena, Anita, Temachon teaching about to be changing Zawate. Anita Sumujin Locase, Case Cadul, Sun Shavata, Ne Candagil Sun Shavata, Ninko Candagil Sun Shavate, Anthony sure is.
Karsage. Mundo Gengro.
Nitu Jig Zawai, Nitu Jag Zawa, he generated some Yorwa, he generated some. He generated the Temberg, Nico Sanjin, Locadium, Sujondi, Sajakala Sujondi, and Cocandagil Sujondi, and Tico and Dodis.
So in the introductions, so we we have found out about the source sutras, for this text, the ornament for clear realization. So which was the source sutra was the perfection of wisdom sutra, and then we discussed about when and the where and to whom, and this sutra, the perfection of wisdom sutra, was taught by the Lord Buddha.
Tene temba nyangil in des te jesala ani tembe ta loma da chamanoji ani sheshela supa kande manyawa chetala kande cheme tene ti jesala ni pendata la supiga ani tin jawa karre nze yemete ani tando dishi sonsabares.
And we also then talk about how after Buddha left the world, and then how the words or the teaching of the Buddha was how it was revived by all the Buddha's followers of the assemblies of great many like arhats, and then how afterward then this text, the ornament for clear realization, which is a commentary to that the hidden meaning of the perfection of wisdom sutra, how that came about.
Ta nombe temba sune tembe temba teni pel ta di sala ni pen kepa nochi teaching to je rewan se giterela ni ta jagal he pin jawa khandi ge jesan rone ni teaching to je rewan se shon de yusne ni ti kola yu ta do di shu sama resrwa.
And then as the Buddhism flourished in Tibet, then how the Tibetan lamas and the masters, who of so many like Indian commentaries written on this text, the Ornament for Clear Realizations, and then which commentary, Indian commentary, that the Tibetan masters, primarily rely upon. So this is also something we cover in this introductory talk. Yeah. So I'm just mention this, give this give bit of a summary of what we have discussed so far. So this is just a way to remember, to remind ourselves of what we have already studied, and so it's also good to in order for this all the really to remember all the teachings well in your mind is good to do these revisions, over and over again. Also, you can do the revision by the discussings about this with your other the Dhamma friends and so on.
Ni temeche kuzo do, temeche tatamai kuzo, tenaji techeche kuzo, techeche tatamai kuzo kola, topanda waji ma techeche yore, esrwa. Ni tatare nene me teche tikol teche shui, teche, ni jimala, teche ki nidoji nijek ma shevi tikasa tikpendo yore, some of this.
And in last week teaching, so we also talk about that how in Buddhism there are two vehicles, the Mahayana and the Hinayanas, and so we have those who follow the Mahayana are the Mahayanis, and those who follows the Hinayana, the Hinayanis, and then we talk about what is the difference between these two, what how we can distinguish, make the difference between these two, and then we move on to also talk about how now in terms of the Buddhist school of tenets. So there are a number of schools, and so which can be put into categorized into two, like the Hinayana, Buddhist school of tenets, and the Mahayana school of tenets. So accordingly, so there's a proponent of the Hinayana school and proponent of Mahayana school of tenets, and then so now we talk about how to we need to think about the there can be differences that we can how someone who can be like a Hinayanis but can be a proponent of Mahayana school of tenet and so on.
And that is one not temech kuzo singing the currency horse, Kazumamashi or no shire. And Tewa tela Nientichi Tewa, Rujachi Tewa, Techi Tewas and Son Epinone, Nientido, Rujagalona shooting Kuzo la Sulapala, and that temech kuzo was in the shiv.
So when we say a Hinayanis or a person or a being of Hinayana or of lower lesser vehicles, so what does that mean? What's kind of the how we can describe that the Hinayanis or a being of Hinayanas. So essentially, so the Hinayanis is a one who who has entered into the Hinayana path.
Tenojigani temech tantama kuzo singete 다 long shu mu shu ke cha chi yo ma re ane tela ni nombe ge ta ma wa tela ni ni do de wa da shero ma wa se zong ba oma ba se ne je shi go re ti ge je ge nu ne la do de wa da ane shero ma wa de ane te me chi ta ma yu ku zo se ne shi ge res.
And on the other hand, when we talk about a proponent or like a propounder of the Hinayana, of a Hinayana school of tenets, then the criteria has got nothing to do with the Hinayana path, whether that person has entered the Hinayana path or not. That's not the criterions. So rather, the criterion is the whether in terms of the what persons whether the person follow the one of the Hinayana school of tenets. So which we mentioned in the last teaching that in terms of the school of tenets, so there are 4 school of tenets, right? So the first 2, which are Sotantrika and the Vipashikas, so which are the 2 lower school of tenets, and then the 3rd and 4th, which is the Chittamatra and the Madhyamika are the grade 2 grade school or school of tenets. So so the proponent of a Hinayana school of tenets, so is the follower of the student of the one of the 2 lower school of Buddhist school of tenets.
Tini tejeji kuzo la yu chipare tejeji kuzo singete ani ta teje long la chupane ta paji niji chimo de jela de gone jokal mendo niji chimo jela de bane ni tejeji kuzo chondro go yore ani tejeji tunda ma yu kuzo te tangite ani yishi we no ne se chomba to ma ba tunda ma yu kuzo te la ani tejeji tunda ma yu kuzo se ne tani se hores.
So likewise, the Mahayanis, whether someone is Mahayanis or not, it depends upon whether the person has entered into Mahayana path, and so which Mahayana path. So therefore, and now how we can what quality, what criteria make that person, someone to enter into Mahayana path. So which usually we say mainly the bodhicittas, but we can also say the great compassions, so which means someone who has, who cultivate the great compassions is then the enter the Mahayana path. So therefore, we call it Mahayanis. And whereas when we talk about the proponent of the Mahayana school of tenets, then the person has to be the follower of the one of the 2 Mahayana school, which is either Chittamatra or Madhyamika.
제장하다 테메지 튼다마이 구조도 테제지 튼다마이 구조스네 지시에 있잖아 야 테메 생에 때는 아주 바시디 잘아야 테제지 튼다래 구조를 때지 멤버도 오지 드니도 오지 동거여 되나요 아니 구사주 우순이 잘아 아니다 선드티게 템베 와치순이 잘아 선드티게 지에 되게 제선 동에 잘아 아니 테제지 튼다마이 구조스네 아니 빨리 깨서다 제가 이게 나티 제선로네 시순이살티 제선로에 되잖아 아니 데미트 남아요 구조레스네 디 젠로고 차네 시에 보여레스군도 테메도 대체세시다 맞아왔지.
Even though that was not the it's not the it's not intended, but when you when we think of this term, Hinayana and Mahayana, and then which has the Hinayana has a connotation of like a lesser vehicle, and whereas Mahayana is a greater vehicle. So there is some sort of give us some sort of the indication of it as if it is the one vehicle is inferiors and other one is superiors. But of course that is not the intended purpose in not and so the His Holiness the in order to to prevent such confusion in the people's mind, that as if there is some sort of discriminations there or in between the Hinayana and Mahayana. So His Holiness then advises or teaches that is rather those who what we call as those the proponent of the of Hinayana school. So they are the one who follow mainly follow the Buddhist teachings, which are Buddhist canon, which were, or the corpus, which are in like a early Indian language, like a Pali language, or the Pali translations, and whereas the proponent of Mahayana, or those Mahayana, those who follow the Mahayana path, so they are the follower of the Sanskrit, translations of the Buddhist scriptures.
다 맞아 테메지 구조도 대체지 구조 생기대 런라틴의 시에고 있자 수수 지지 부도지 런라틴의 시에고 있자 아니 대니가 ing해요 말해서 테메지 구조 이 대체지 구조니까 ing해요 말해서 이나야 테메지 구조도 대체지 전타만 구조니 ing해요 말해서
So as we mentioned before, the when we say the those who are the Mahayanis or the Hinayanis, and so here the main criterion is what path they follow. So if they follow those who follow the Hinayana path, so they are the Hinayanis. So whereas those who follow the Mahayana path, so they are the Mahayanis. So therefore, if we ask whether there could be, so therefore we cannot have someone who can be both. So it's like what we say, like it's Hinayanis and Mahayanis are like a mutually exclusive, in the sense that you can't have someone who can be both. And however, when we talk about the proponent of the school of tenets, like Hinayanis or the Mahayana school of tenets, so it is with the criteria is not to do with the path. So therefore, we can have someone who is Hinayanis, but can be a proponent of the Mahayana school of tenets.
가르스는 테메지 구조텔라 로지지 구조텔라니 세좀 비튼다 마옹이요 요래 아마 비튼다 마옹이 던디고 요래 대인자니 던디기 테메데 아마 비튼다 마옹이도 세좀 비튼다 마옹이데 테메지 구조레데레 대제지 튼다 마옹 구조레데레스.
So you could have the someone who is on the Hinayana path, so who is a Hinayanis, but however the system of philosophy or the tenets that they follow, they assert, could be Mahayana school of tenets, like could be either the Chittamatra or Madhyamikas.
제정안에 왜 다디 도주 대체적 구조도요. 테메치 튼타마요 구조 오진도 요레스 가르스나 아니 셔로 마와치 비거니 다 대지 촌랑 받더니 요레스로 대준도 대화치니 대지 촌랑 봐 어떤지 요래 다들 조금가 대지 촌랑 봐 이자 그 대지 구조 저되고 그래 셔로 마와돈도 대화 손자 아니 그 테메치 튼타마요 구조 저되고 그래스.
So you could also have someone who is Mahayanis, but a proponent of a Hinayana school of tenets, like the any of either of the two lower school like Sotantika or Vaibhashikas. So in fact, you could have someone who has entered the Mahayana first part, the Mahayana part of accumulations, and so since the person has entered into Mahayana path, so he's a Mahayanis, but yet by tenets can be other of those two lower school of tenets.
다 대제 구조도 미 구조도 다 롱고네 쇼차리 다 셔로 마와도 도 대와데 간데스 다 샤고리라나 수수 켈렌지 튼테고 그 요거래 데 가르세나 셔로 마와도 도 대와데 콜로 동비 그 대지 된도 콜로 동보 덴베고 닌 콜로 동비 그 내가서 대지 되고래 디가서라니 아니 구조 또지 롱무지지 동원다 아니 구조 루자도 비그 동화된 거요래 아니 고치고 다 드니지 거네 아니 저와도지 뽕 더그래 녀비고 아니 드니고 켈레라 때네니 로데고 요레스 저와도지 뽕 더그래 소네 디 녀레라 때네
디안게송도 하자게
제로 모두 노데와 여러와 노데와 디 템베스위 콜로 동보 여러와 콜로 동보 대지 친구네 눈에라니 다 구조도지 롱무지지 동하다 구조 루자트 비제지 동아 아니 드니 때주서 다때 켈레 다때 고네 녀스레네 아니 저와도지 폰터 그래 녀네 드니 비 드니 그 켈레는 걸 로디고 그래서
so the each the school of tenets, so the each school they presents the whole their own path to achieve liberations. So like if we talk about the two lower school of tenets of Sotantika and the so the Vaibhashika and Sotantika, so their whole the philosophies and systems is really derived or based on the Buddha's, primarily the Buddha's first turning of the wheel of Dharma, which is on the four noble truth, and so based on that their interpretations of the first wheel of turning of the wheel of Dharmas, so they present all their view, such as their view of the reality of the way things exist is that the things are absence of the of the empty of the self, empty of the self, which is like a permanent, single and autonomous, and so so based on that, based on that the first turning of the wheel of Dharma, so they believe that what they present in their school of tenets is will enable the being to achieve the state of liberations.
아니 세 점바티가 템베가 친구서는 콜로타마 롱길로도 점바테 콜로타마 되래. 콜로타메 가서 아니 준즈 제지 동화세난다 시대 매와 된시 시대 매와 따왔대. 다디 따왔텔라 때네 니 검발라 때네 니 다 저와 그 본토야 같더니 드니 근데 와치 그거랬어.
So whereas the proponent of Laga, the Chittamatra, school of tenets, so they rather rely on the third wheel of teachings, wheel of dharmas, and because what is said, what is Buddha has taught in the third wheel of dharma, is something really suit their way of thinking, their mind, their philosophical systems, and so therefore on the basis of that, of course, their primary view was that that there is no external, existence. There's no existence of like external objects or the external existence. So based on that, which they relating to the third wheel of the wheel of Dharma of the Lord Buddhas, so they present the whole the systems to which they think they posit that it will following that would achieve the state of liberation.
다 아마 받아서 가르치는 코로롱도 써봐. 콜로스님은 콜로파와 되거니 내 마음에 비다. 드니 그 동만이 따와 있어서 되게 제스노네. 니 따와 될라 때네니 다 지도와 자송 본대야 드니 내가 지금 그래서.
So whereas the Madhyamika, the proponent of the Madhyamika school of tenets, so they primarily depends on the second wheel turning of the wheel of Dharma, and which is something which really also the fit their view of that of the emptiness of true existence of all things, and so therefore the on the basis of that view and the source of their system on the second wheel of Dharma, so they present the whole their the spiritual path to achieve to a state of liberation.
제장장저 전다 우메 전다 구메가 따와 고야라 따와 고쳐야라 네 방어서 깬저도 마신 드니건 저란다고 나지 차되고 요래 아니 전다 구메가 따와 고라 인지미지 아니 다 전다 구마네 좀 봐지 대체와나 아니 레로원에 고다 그래서
So we find all this. There are four school of tenets, and each has a different interpretations of the Buddha's teachings, and so they have each present a different the teachings or different the systems to achieve liberations. And so now it is said that these four schools are not all are not completely unrelated, but rather it is said that if we think about, if we look into this, the whole the view that are all presented in each school, then it is say that we will find that from the lower school, what is presented in the lower school is a very useful tool to really to understand the view that of the next school which is above that, and so on. The understanding the view about that also help one to gain the view of the school above that. So in a sense, so from the bottom to the to the top, all this the school of tenets. So they say that it's like a stairways to like a steps to reach the complete enlightenment.
맞아 유네야 지지 대체지 대치다. 네 테메지 대치세네. 니가 다녀 연구요래. 디 간리찬에 저거 그러잖아. 아니 대체지 대치생이때 아니 대체지 뜻하마요. 코나에 대체지 뜻하마요. 다 고조 쳇샤요 되자. 대체지 뜻하마요 고조라 쳇 중에 수요자 대치 뜻sol라. 아니 대체지 대치세. 아니 테메지 뜻하마요 고조디 쳇 수요의 대치 뜻sol라. 네 테메지 대치이시네. 뜻하마요 고조한 거네 파지 채워시는 거래서.
And then we, with regard to the scriptures, again, the categories of this scripture, we also find the like the Hinayana, scriptures and the Mahayana scriptures, and now the what criteria that will make these two difference. Make the difference, differentiate the. You can differentiate whether the scripture is a Hinayana or the Mahayana. So it's mainly the to do with the audience, the main audience of that scriptures. So which is to say, if the main audience are the proponent of the Hinayana school of tenets, then the scripture will be is labeled, can be labeled as Hinayana scriptures, whereas if the main audience are the proponent of Mahayana school of tenets, then it's the scripture is Mahayana scriptures.
네, 다 네미 때지 니지 된 거 죽은 거래. 서와. 다 될라니 가스밥이 때지 니시야 빠텔라. 아니 사지 전화부지. 천지 때 지치죠. 세지지 니 유기 되는 옷이네. 아니 사지 전화 오신다 친구님 마시가 있어.
So now if we move to the actual the explanation of the actual text, so that for that we the explanation can be done, presentation can be done under this the four headings. So which is the meaning of the title. So that's one, and then the homage, like a translator's homage, and then the meaning of the actual the text, the explaining the meaning of the actual text, and then the conclusions.
다 동bolani 천지 댄스들이 천지 댄싱이들라 천대니시에 봐도니 다 디쇼르니 까대지 노조시에 봐서 사제니 나오시고 시작이스.
So first we begin from this heading, the meaning of the title. So for that, so there's two subheading. So that's the explanation, explaining the actual meaning of the title, and then there is the as an ancillary topics subject. Then the presentations of the like the words, like the Buddha's words, and the treatises.
Ota teonta sedengi shepatela ni jagar keta Abhisamayalamkara nama tanja paramata apade shata sine sejondu.
So now to go to the meaning of the title. So in the text, so you find the title of the text. Let me get the English version. Yeah, where it says, I think if you have a copy of the text, in the language of India, then it's Abhisamayalamkara nama Pranja Paramita Upadesa Shasta Karika.
Ante pekel jiditsala sheraji parada shime mengo kite chingembato bi yesne tani sungu yores.
Yeah. So it's translated as as a treatise of quintessential instructions on the perfection of wisdoms, the ornament for the clear realizations.
Teonta tniga sonditi ke te tsirere si jowaina Abhisamaya singite nyembato pas ni alongara singite jens ani nama singite sheshawa sing tanja paramata singite sheraji parod shimbas upande shata singite mengo sing ani shata sepate tejil jures o tani sujondes.
So if we break down the meaning of those each syllables of those Sanskrit title, so you start with the Abhisamaya. So Abhisamaya, so which means translated here as clear realizations, and then Alamkara, which means like so called. Cold, and then Alamkara means like an ornament, and the nama, which means so called, and then Pranja Paramita, which is the perfection of wisdom, and then Upadesh means the quintessential instructions, and Shastra, which is means treatise.
Ta lot tawasekarwa di tombo te chingi to chete jakel yewaisa te pekel judisala ni tini ta sanjite jaga ke te ruso na shaje te chi jeyo maresrwa jeyo masente jaga ke te ruso chi jojo dus jaga ke te ruso joji gupa karare sena ani ta ngazo tanda ga temba ne te nonde jewasene tini sungu yorwa nin zomalila ni suje ton tnizo pegre esin mangopala ani tzo kanga pedi tsala samala ni nechu doje del pene tene ngemba soji bi tsate tene ni chi sunwa ti tse ni tanda sond tikya ko ne sungu yores de sungu ye za ta ngazo yo ani ta ndini ga chi sond tikya chi tanda ne chi chewaina ni kel pocha ja ya da ani jel shilan ju ya tndi 안체와요 사레스 디체다니 다 자켓 다가로 론소나 저저요레스.
So in this the translations of this the ornament of this clear for clear realizations. So as we note here that the title of the text is actually left in the original language, which is in Sanskrit. So as we this title, which is Abhisamayalamkara nama Pranja Paramita Upadesa Shasta, that's we find that the title in Sanskrit, and so now the why. So there's a reasons why the translator render the title in the Sanskrit language. The reason is that it is said that if you it is said that in the in these like fortunate aeons, so it is prophesied that there will be like over 1,000, the Buddha would appear to and turn the wheel of dharmas, and then and each of those Buddha, when they manifest their supreme the emanations, so they will like this historical law, Guru, Buddha Shakyamuni, so they will all achieve, attain the complete enlightenment in the in Bodhgayas, and then after the enlightenment, they would the turn the wheel of Dharma, and then it is said that the wheel of Dharma will be turned in the language of this Sanskrit, and so therefore the translators, the reason or the purpose of rendering the title in this Sanskrit language is for the trainee to leave an imprint in their mind, to learn about this, knowing, understand the Sanskrit language, and also to receive a blessing, in one's continuums.
Ta gipa nyepa sekro ta tni la ya khare resena ta ngsen lo ni tni ge jaga ge mi ji ye na ne ta ti te chi te o ta jaga ne chi yung za re pe khu chen bo re se ya tni ge yi chi she ya ge che ta ani den chen de rong ja sha ya gipa chi tni sa res.
And also there's it is also to show the fact that this the title is left in the Sanskrit or the Indian language. So this is to show that the source of this teaching is from India, and so when it's said that when it's something this source of the teaching come from India, then it automatically shows indicate the authenticities of these teachings.
다 대진들이야 지 님바도 비 젠스는 지시해준 뒤서와 젠생이 된 가서 논지 ዝ볼 젠차도 해야 돼서와 젠차도 해야 돼. 아니 가서 그 젠차 야포 지도 아니 멜론라 소바노를 따디살라 다 젠차 야포 또 사디살라 소 ዝ보나지도 넘바 야포 통거로 통소나 소소를 가오시 그러 와서 와 알았지 진짜.
And then we find the word here, the ornament here. So in these titles. So now, if to to explain by using an analogies. So like if you have a beautiful body, and then in addition to that, then it will make even more beautiful if you like wear some ornaments like jewelries, and then with all that, and then the spectator, it will can it give a joy for the spectator to look at this beautiful body also.
당에 될 가와시와 대너지가 아니 간다 용다 년바도 바제 생기죠 될 아니 대한다 저거 바 젠라고 또네 아니 다 대칭이 도제는 마 세워서 윤도 잘라네 대칭이 도제는 전혀 신경 저거 오시 그러와 베트는서 저거 그래서
so in here the main the subject matter of this, of course, the ornament for clear realization, which is this what we call as the eight realizations, clear realizations, and so these 8 realizations are then the explained with the 70 different topics, and so these 70 topics which explain the meaning of that clear realization, or which characterize this the 8 clear realizations. So it's like like an ornament, like beautifying these 8 clear realizations, and so therefore because of these, and then this the text can then give satisfactions to the readers.
Ona teaching about topic jazz and dingal teaching is such a nibata. Such a nibata, Shaju, teaching got the chicken or your capacity. Or Ticature, Anita, teaching about topic jazz and teaching on this raw. Teaching it, Tande, teaching the popote, ni Jetshamangamuiza, Jetshamangamu soon to Zola. Koran Suji in Zata, King soon to Zola Cassine. Jabikadu, ni pame kasine, kasine, Geshe Yorwa, only Jave kasine, or Teniji Malawache, any tenchis and large of this. Only things are Kadu teaching you Chawakari or resin, teaching what the she is.
So now we move to the next subheading, which is the ancillary topic, which I say, which include 2 topics, which is the Buddha's words and the treatises, and so now this text, the Ornament for Clear Realization, is called as treatises or commentaries, and although the author of this, the author, which is a Maitreya Buddha, which is regarded as a Buddha. So therefore, there's a cautions, why this. First of all, this on the text, the Ornament is called as a treatise or commentary, and also there's a caution about the how we differentiate what's the difference between the treatise and the Buddha's words. So in that, as part of that ancillary topic, so it simply says the words and the treatise. So when you say words or a speech, so that generally can we understand the words in terms of the words of the speech from given by our parents, or that one which come from the king, from the head, and so on. But here, when you say the words, so it refers to the words of the Buddha.
Ota tombo telata tela yumta sache kaji ma goina ka seni yewa ani jashi esene sonli ma ji goshi na nye de esa resro.
So in Tibetan, word is the word, is we call it ka, which means like a word or a speech or talk. So now, so if we can go further into this meaning of the word. So in terms of like the descriptions of the word and the divisions, and then the literal explanation of this. What does this word of the ka? That's in Tibetan. What does that mean? Yes.
어단 도문세니 될 가는 저러잖아. 지지지도 됨비 수제지 수라세네. 지지지도 됨비 수제지 수라세네. 다 지지지도 되냐가 다 산제가 다 뭐롱세가 말이다. 다 드니 그 지지지도 됨비 그 뭐질세가요. 그래서 지지 수제가 뭐롱세가 말이다. 다 수제가 수라세니데. 동 수제 뭐는 대체 좋아해. 다 뭐는 수제 로질 디거와. 제장안에 제지지도 됨비 수제지다 수라라고 수다 뭐 수치지도 됨비 뭐라고 시. 드니시 됐어.
Okay, so so one descriptions which you find in the text of the word is which only says the word is a word, or the ka is like a supreme a word of a Buddha, and then possessing the four special qualities.
안타 체치지데 가르스는 다코 까테 모도 다피 드라지자 콜 제자여로와 체치지데 가르스는 기그 제자라 아니 타와도 토제치 발라 숲 토픽이 예대잉에 아니 제제 다 치코롤다 지 하심 추이되와던데다 아니 드니기 시에치네 맹에 아니 다 셰레 다 콜라테네 가른 주고서는 니에모 발라 숲이고 아니 보잔라 문다지 pontawa pon기다 보잔라 문다지 pontawa 다 대포소나 콜 텔 기파 가른 주고서는 다 니에모 바시죠 등하셔와라 숲이고 펜중요레스 디지털스다
시바도 고발라 고바
기파 니에모 바도 등하셔 펜스
no. So let's go through these four special qualities which describes or characterize the something as a word of a Buddha. So the first is the characteristic is the actual content. If the word of the Buddha is, if it's like a word in terms of like a speech which comes from verbal speech, then it has a content. So the content of that speech is the ability is the showing the path, means of achieving liberation and complete enlightenment, and then the second the quality, which now not so much with the content of the word or the speech, so rather the actual word itself, like a letter, or if you talk with letter, or the sound, whatever, how you describe that. So that is like an immaculate, without any fault, without any fault, and then in terms of its the functions, third quality, which is the function of that word or the speech of Buddha is in terms of the has the capacities of to eliminating the mental affliction and all the object that need to be eliminated, object of elimination or abandonment. And then final third, which is the purpose, the purpose of that the word, the Buddha's word. So is had the purpose of pacifying all the sufferings and so on.
제자다 예와 때라다 예고 나만다 쇼진두티나 당가서지 레라우나 지제저와이나 아니 드지고네 예와나 대체진도도 대체 대매진도 스타디 뭔가 드자가 차네래 뭐라와 드지고네 드니지 니인두스.
And now with regards to the divisions of the Buddha's word or the ka in Tibetan, then there are we can go but not go without going into the complicated divisions. So the first, in terms of the audience of that, to whom that the word is addressed to. So as we said before, so it can be two. So there are so it can be divided into two. That could be Hinayana. The audience can be either Hinayana or the Mahayana. Mahayana is also.
용가텔라 드니 가르즈네 템베 샤네 숨까 아니 제스 노미까 아니 신지라피까 아세네 아니 드니 예와서요레스 그런 거네 그런 거 이데미게 로 그런 거 마이나요다 제스 지만 너너 지슈세네지 막 라이제저로 드니까 아니 신지라피까 드니 선데스
and then there's another, according to another way of divisions, is the Buddha's word can be like a spoken words, and then the word by permissions, subsequent permissions, and then the blessed words. So there's a three days.
tene tate isata jesu novika singete karisi worsena ani temba tani nyangelen degala motela ani ta koro ko ta chombala ani jumi jikila ta karje sid ruzo growa ruzo tsal pena sheshi jindo ta wina ani sheshi jindo te sid ruzo tsal ti ngola ani karata gogorela sana ko disen ndrojila 사잔 너로지라 콘 너로지라 네 기시에 송스네 네 시에 그래서 대적 그래서 드니가 봐 제스 노와서라 다 그지 제마치로 가요 드잘 드니 지슈스네 그러고 노아마 제로와 제자가 드니라니 제스 노이 가서 그래서
and you'll find that in the beginning of the most sutras, like if you like, it's like a prefix. So where there's a standard wording which describes the time, when the Buddha taught, and then the place, and then the audience or the of the listeners of the teachings. So these standard statements, which you find in all sutras, so it is said so these are considered. This is considered as like a Buddha's word, yet a Buddha's word. By permissions, in subsequent permissions, and this is because the Buddha have given permission. Buddha have advised that when you compile my word together, so then you do mention about this, the time and the place and who was there to listen to my teachings, all that. So, and then after that, then they always included that. So this is by Buddha's word, by permissions, subsequent permissions.
ata tani shinjila pekka singi shinjila pekka te temba rungu ta ngo rungu ni yungu yo mare te ina ya tembe ga ta kasu tuji ko ne pa majil shinjila yo tsala mati khane pi rungu me pa tro de ngina chi tani yungu kar ser nga te shera ni bo ta wina shera ni bungul temba tingyen zala nyoba yugi tere ti shila na wo te sharipul juni shera sharip ko rungu me pa khatone ni here zule ya 저한테 용도 갖고 니 빠지 저한테 드닌다고 그래서 템베가 신지라는 말 신지라는다 제시 류는 거라 때네피 네 잠도 봐 니제모도 봐라서 버더니 신지라에 드니 예사레스 드니 신지라 봐라 때네 쉬우가 안타 가세 그래 가세다 드니 수라서 아니 신지라 비가 가스는 시고 그래서
and then there's the Buddha's words, which we call as the blessed words of the Buddha, so which were not also again like that subsequent Buddha's words by subsequent permission, which is not actually spoken by the Buddha himself. But it becomes a Buddha's word through the blessings of the through the blessing of the Buddha's body, speech, or mind. Through the blessing of that, such as like in the Heart Sutra, so there's there's a dialogues of between the Shariputtras and the Avalokitevaras. So these are all the direct words coming from these two, the Shariputtras and the Avalokitevaras. And while these are happenings, the Buddha is simply absorbed or seated in the deep meditative concentrations, meditative equipoise, and so it is in fact these blessed words of the Buddha, in the sense that it was through the Buddha kind of instigated or kind of activated or some influence the Shariputra and the Avalokitevaras to actually to have that dialogue because of the Buddha's. And likewise, you could also have through the Buddha's influence or the blessing powers, that even there's a sutra which came out from the wrestling of the trees, which produced the sound of the Dharma of the impermanence of things, and so these are again the sutras which the teaching which come from the tree. So these are also is called categorized as the blessed words of the Buddha's words.
아니 다 시다 가싱에 때라 니 ngol ndetselnda munda yoresro te kan rulila ni ngog rojinashi ta dak rojina bujin ndego yores mato ni 시다 ni jendola ni kashe gosina ni kate suje jela yo mare deji jela yores kandes yoresina suje chi ma chi suyun di sala tig tendo loila pa deshin ro chade go ro wa tzo ni suje chi ka jo ko resne ni tni ke damon de je mo jo de tni yores ro.
And then there's so that's the divisions of the word. And now with regard to the nature or what actually is that Buddha's word, is that actually a sound or is a consciousness of what it is. So the answer is here is a sound. We describe that Buddha's word as a sound. And however, there's a lot of other, who posit that it's not a sound. It could be also the something exists. The Buddha's word is something which exists within the continuum of a being. Like how the Buddha, after you heard the trainee heard the disciple heard the teaching from the Lord Buddhas, then they remember the whole teaching in their mind in the form of memories, and which is the teaching is in their mind in the form of memories. So therefore there are some who assert that therefore the Buddha's word can also exist within the continuums of the trainees. Yes.
Da kasenge te te shungoji da ngona tse jiri song disrwa cheji do de mene su cheji sura jila ne segore sin da cheji do tum tsokanga ma she chares.
So but anyway, not going getting yourself too confused on this what is the word, but at least trying to remember that the Buddha's word so has the four above mentioned four qualities.
다 원하는 대지 생애들 간데 나지 생겼잖아. 네 지셔지 대니도 된비 뭐 논다세. 노바수지비 대지 전이다. 시도 대지 생음도 노바수지비 대지 생애들 간데 세거요잖아. 지셔지 고발은 지월에더니 쇼비 아니 예대니도 된비 그네 리스네비 뭐 논다세네. 든지지니 대지 노바수지비 대지 그때는 되네 적은데스.
So now, if we move to the treatise or commentaries, now that is defined as the like a pure the word or pure speech which possess the two qualities of what to say? Like a purifying or a controlling and then protecting. It's two qualities.
Yeah. 니두제 타고텔라 가르세네 techi 비치세요레스 가르세나 키그 드지그 니모비그 달레 니다 코티소 셰팔라테네 드지그 니모비 알트솔레 바 셈바 솔 지네 지치자네 니 드자테니 아니 코아동에 속은 쇼예자 니 아니 콜라테치 셰비그 니다 제추고요레스.
So these two qualities which says the purifying or the or can be also mean eliminating. So that refer to the eliminating the enemy of mental afflictions. So that's the meaning, and then the protecting or protection is giving the protection of from the samsaras.
제장하다 대징이도 제타올 차샤와이나 니 지츠쇼망게 비구스르 돼요. 그래서와 니 지츠쇼망게 비구스르 돼 있어 대징이도 제타오데 지츠쇼망게 비구스르나 지츠쇼망고 코로나 절 여러 와스와 그런 절 여러 와스 내가 주절 요 말했어. 봐. 제나네 같이 그다 대징이도 제지 롤즈네 질 쪼에 여러와 대징이도 제 이나 메나 네, 도바이 지나서와.
So the so here's a questions which is so the this text ornament is of course is authored by Maitreya, and so it's his Maitreya's words, Maitreya's writing, and so it is belong to him, and then the question is now if we memorize these texts, and then when we recite, do the recitation of these texts, and then whether what we recite is that also the Maitreya's also the actual ornament text or not.
세시에 빠는 예대셔 싶으면 다 대칭이도 지 찌나오더니 여러와 다 같이 된대 싱거와 대시에 때 대칭이도 지 르웨세나 대칭이도 지 찌나 제스 형이 다 루젤 디그게 지로 가르세나 대칭이도 지 거라이나 루주 디그거와 런주 디와 대칭이도 지나 제스 형배가 수인 그거와 제스 형이 수인나 제스 형이 루젤 디그거와 로와 제자다 대칭이 두제가 눈을 치다 세셰바나지 대치 신다오지 예메이나다 디그 맞고 때라시거와 다때 대칭이 두제가 유치 제 말에 로
so usually when we say if somebody's words, then it is that word is exists within that continuum of that person's. Okay, so therefore, this ornament for clear realization is a speech or is the writing of the Maitreya, and so therefore it should be in the exists in the continuum of the Maitreya, right? So therefore, if that is the case, then what about all the anybody can memorize these texts, and you can at least memorize one line from that text. One line, for example, there's a line which says that the wish to achieve enlightenment, Buddhahood is bodhicitta. Let's say that's a line which is in the ornament text, and we memorize, and when we say that out, so when we say it, that the line that we've come out from our mouth, whether that is the part of the Maitreya's text, the ornament of the clear realization or not, and then how, if we think it is, how it can be, because our speech is it is something exists within our continuums. Yes.
온다 롤룰랑 아주 지체와나 까도 대지니 제와시라요 말해서와 까이나 대지니 파초가 그래서 까이니 제가가 대지래서 나 대지니 지초가 말아와 까싱에 숨바보 아니 산지 그거래서와 대지 종일 땅 아주 생제만 보여와 진짜 까이나 대지 그거래서 나 대지나 또 대까이 그거요 말해서와 그런 얘기 제와대.
So now what is the concluded in the text is that when we talk about the difference between the word, we talk about the Buddha's word, and the treatise, talk about that, and then what we conclude is that all the words can be a treatise, but not other way around, because here we're talking about the words is a Buddha's word. Okay, so it's because the treatise can be composed by even someone who is not a Buddha, so therefore it cannot be the words of the Buddha, so it's not necessary. that something can be text or something can be treatise, but not the words of the Buddha.
Ona tenjingi duji tawo teni ta jitsi shongi gu suyu mayi sine ane shira shesa yo ma res rwa ko ngo jine re de res kuzo oshi gu ngo re de res ta kuzo ji gu ngo yinza ta kuzo kunyu rwa ji gu ngo yin ko rwa jitsanga jitsi shongi gu ngo ma tun ro sa yo ma res.
So there's you can think about this, like how when we say these texts, these treatise, ornament for clear realizations, it's not a Buddha's word, but it's a words. It's the speech, in a sense. It is a speech. So if it's a speech, then it has to be this speech of someone, right? Somebody's. It has to come from someone's mouth, and then of course it's are we going to say it is this speech of the speech which comes from the Maitreya's Buddhas.
Ta ting jitsi shongi ngo yin suna ni nga tsu jila ane tenjingi tu jil ta kasi tsinda wana chi ndawo ndawo jo dena ya ane tenjingi tu jil yo ma res rwa nga tsu jila senje jila ta tenjingi tu jil pesha ma jo dengi jo rwa ta tsu jila ane tenjingi tu jil yo ma res te me na ane ta nga tsu kachi pena tsang tso mani den go rwa ta mani den te nga tsu kan den te ni mani re du ma re ta o mani pemi si go rwa te den te ni mani re du ma re rwa ten den wala ni mani den si go rwa ta nga tsu ane tso kande na ina chi sono to ya res.
So when we take the regard, if we regard this ornament as a speech of the Maitreya, it has to be speech. As I said before, it is a speech, but then if it is a speech, then we have to know whose speech it is. And if it's a Maitreya's speech, then this means that then when we recite this ornament from our mouth, the words that come from our mouth, so that's not the Maitreya's speech, and then we can also, on the same based on the same reason, we can also ask question about when we chant the mantra, like when we chant the 6 syllable like Om Mani Padme Hum mantra. So whether we do say that when we chant, we chanted the mantra, Mani, what we have chanted, is that really the mantra or not? So that real mantra or not, that's also debatable.
Then we go to Kashe Gagan Sini Jogorwa. Suji Nemu Punshit Sumi Suji Surate. Nemu Pumishata. Swimming Suji Surajorwa. Take out Sini to John to use. Nitel Chai Yesare Yesamaris. Tell us so much to
Nemu Punshit Sanjing Song.
Nemu Pumishata. Ta kola shewa te nyemu po ya shawe shitala ni sumi ku suje chi sura shi dingi charwa tani ka tsenyi tani jongi ya res rwa ani te shawa ina ani koji ni jal chawa tani yesa rwes ka ina ta nyemu po shi te sui kei ko rwes
nyemu po shi sanji ku sungrap si waro
suje shi nyemu po shi te suje chi sura.
And then there are some who define the Buddha's word as the supreme word of the Buddha, supreme word, which the purpose, which is for the sake of the eliminating the mental afflictions, So if we give that as a definition of the Buddha's word, would that be would that be correct or not?
Yeah, that Nicolan is Topana was a Pachitavanati, and it's also this Chenanes, so Mahopala, Lord Temple there, the Nicopan to your restaurant.
So maybe just have discussed this with the other.
There's a question.
Yeah.
A question here from the audience.
Yeah.
When the ornament is translated into other language, like Tibetan and then English, is it the speech of Maitreya?
Tadi kuchiki pukinalo tiwali kuisarwa. Tangondo gendi tat pyoke tolo juarwa. Tadangani inji tolo jurusharwa. Tadenzo ngondo gen inda mes.
제장아 니테도 도파시 데레스 수소파 돌리치에 단다 가다넬 돌리치에 데시시우스 아니 지금 가절때
Yeah.
시에주로와
I'm not going to give the answer now, so but that's a good question. That is exactly Geshe said he's looking for that. So you got to think about and come up with many options, and maybe later on Geshe might give some sort of summary.
당연히 시에줘요스로와 제스 형기 그 수마이나나 지금 말했어. 수인수나 아니 때 니도 제래고 말했어. 가지고 막 디산주셔와. 베일 제진질 디산주 땡이도 제래고 말했어. 네.
Yeah, then as we say, if we say that the words that the ornament that we recite, if that's not the word, that's not the speech of the Maitreya, then obviously the Tibetan or the English version of Ornament is not the text of the Maitreya. It's not the ornament.
시동제는 가서 막 디산주 주여와 되네. 디산주 때 시도 때지세 개 말아왔다. 그래서 가서 빼러와. 때지 빼되고 문을 따대 그거 빼대세 그러다. 가서 빼대세. 대세를 맞듯이 때라다 이해 중에서는 막 디산주리 맞도.
So also could bear in mind that when we talk about the three triads of the words, we're not talking about this hard copy text or even a digital image. So we talking about sound, and that's the thing. Yeah. Yeah. So this is just the resemblance, the text. Simply resemblance. Yeah, it just resembles the actual word, and so just by like a medium, of that word. So and which is the useful tool to understand. So there is no question that the three triads of the words should be a word or a speech, no.
단데 우트네 말아야지 가시 도파체네 대지라 ngo이 그거 문도 있어와 가르스는 루자다 좀 받티 그 드라메 리치노니군의 치땡인도 있어. 리치노니군의 치땡인도 제장아 아니 대지라네 치땡이자 다고 대서 주를 이때 걸 뭐가 문도 있어. 드니싱이 요레스로.
So speech the words are normally like a sound. And then there are also some other, even to make us raise a question about how, there are some, like we have some solitary realizer practitioners, who have the ability to teach with the body language and without any words. And so what about those teaching? Are they not the words? They're not a speech. Are they not a teaching? So what is it? What that is? Yeah. So just keep stimulating your mind with all this different here.
전주 senju rombo che maje pano sheje shewa nyombo me payi kone kondo pewa